Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba Hashem, Rakakwadash. The honors to the apostles, the elders, salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and sincerity. Lesson will be entitled, Shall Be Beaten with Few Stripes. Lord will, you are edified. Going into what judgment on the congregation of these false prophets, because you have a lot of information showing you that these so-called leaders of Israel are fake, false, phony, and has sold out. I'm about to play a clip from Zaquan Yashawamba, his platform, Remnant Save 144. Subscribe and be edified. Video is entitled Remnant Save 144 is live 4125.
We could very well be underlings of these fools out here, man, who are completely they're getting caught up in side missions and making a fool of themselves. And beautiful, man, because the Lord said, I'm going to choose your delusions, man. You got Alazar, right, on the video showing how much he made every month, 30,000 this month. I made 300.
That boy said within a 2-year time frame, he made approximately 600 something thousand dollars. He is comfortable within this system. And that's the reason why he said what? Yeah, Yahweh Shah probably will return in another 1,000 years. He's open there. Okay? What'd he say on that same video? How at the beginning of 1 year, okay, he dropped a 30 ball. That's 30 some thousand dollars. And still, with all of this evidence that came out on that nigga, he still has his support system, which is his congregation. All right? And he's going to be beat with many stripes, and his congregation a few stripes. Same thing for Nate, the same thing for Johanna. But at the end of the day, one stripe can lead to an official judgment for death.
Okay, this year, bragging about it, but he doesn't know the white man is getting ready to.
Let me read that. This is Luke 12 and 47. And that servant which knew his Lord's will, they're supposed to be shepherds, right? They claim they know the scriptures. It's all about the law. And prepared not himself, neither did according to his will. And this sums up who? Johanna, Nate, and Alazar. Shall be beaten with many stripes. And one stripe can lead into a judgment of death. Verse 48. But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes, because the congregation is supposed to be led. Okay? They're sheep, and their shepherd is supposed to lead them. Now, at the end of the day, this present time frame, there is no cloak for their sins in regards to their congregation. Okay, there have been multiple videos on how Nate has switched up the doctrine, okay, and encouraged his members to receive the jab. And I want to say 21 or 22 members of his congregation died. Johanna, rumors of him engaging with a little boy. And also, back in the day, he said it was okay to be doing the butt. Alizé, pimping out his wife, okay, or attempting to pimp out his wife to a so-called white man who is an Edomite. And when she returns home, he wants to be pegged by her. And they still have this support system. So it only makes sense that their congregation is not the elect. Okay? They're the non elect. And they will receive a few stripes. Okay? Wow. As soon as I said that, the broom fell down. Shall be beaten with few stripes. Luke 12:48. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required, the leaders. And to whom men have committed much, of him they will ask the more. All right, so if you are in a position of leadership, you're supposed to be doing what's right. Okay, following Yahushua to the best of your ability. And presently, okay, Yahushua is not dealing with Nate, nor Johanna, nor Alazar. Okay? Numbers 16 and verse 1. Now Korah, the son of Izar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan, and Abiram, the sons of Elab, and On, the son of Pelath, sons of Reuben, took men, and they rose up before Moses with certain of the sons of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, You take too much on you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and Yahweh is among them. Wherefore then lift you up yourselves above the congregation of Yahweh. And when Moses heard it, he fell on his face. So of course he wasn't with it. Okay, verse 5. And he spoke unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, Even tomorrow Yahweh will show who are his and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him, even him whom he has chosen, when he calls to come near unto him. Okay, so keep this in mind, right? So Moses is saying what? At the end of the day, Yahweh, Baal Hashem, Yahweh Shai, is going to make plain who he's dealing with. All right, so let's read this in the NLT, verse 19. Meanwhile, Korah has stirred up the entire congregation against Moses and Aaron, and they all gathered at the tabernacle entrance. Then the glorious presence of Yahweh appeared to the whole congregation, meaning what? He came in a chariot. And Yahweh said to Moses and Aaron, Get away from all these people so that I may instantly destroy them. Wait a minute. Do you see how infuriated Yahweh was? Okay? Verse 22. But Moses and Aaron fell face down on the ground. O power, they pled, You are the power who gives breath to all spirits. Must you be angry with all the people when only one man sins? And Yahweh said to Moses, Then tell all the people to get away from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. So Moses got up and rushed over to the tents of Dathan and Abiram, followed by the elders of Israel. Quick, he told the people, get away from the tents of these wicked men and don't touch anything that belongs to them. If you do, you will be destroyed for their sins. So all the people stood back from the tents of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. Then Dathan and Abiram came out and stood at the entrances of their tents, together with their wives and children and little ones. Okay, so what happened? And Moses said, "This is how you will know that Yahweh has sent me to do all these things that I have done, for I have not done them on my own. If these men die a natural death, or if nothing unusual happens, then Yahweh has not sent me. But if Yahweh does something entirely new, and the ground opens its mouth and swallows them," right? And you could tell that the ground or the earth has is a feminine spirit, because look at verse 30 in the KJV. "But if Yahweh make a new thing and the earth open her mouth," just point that out. Back into the NLT. "But if Yahweh does something entirely new and the ground opens her mouth and swallows them and all their belongings, and they go down alive into the grave, then you will know that these men have shown contempt for Yahweh." Okay, verse 31. He had hardly finished speaking the words when the ground suddenly split open beneath them. The earth opened her mouth and swallowed the men, okay, these false leaders, okay, in today's time frame, along with their households and all their followers who were standing with them. So not only, okay, did these men die, but their families died and their followers. So in the present time, right? And let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 9. "The thing that has been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun." And that's the point. Okay? The Most High destroying false prophets and their families and their congregation is nothing new. Okay? So when we go back to, "The earth opened her mouth and swallowed the men along with their households and all their followers whom were standing with them in everything they owned. So they went down alive into the grave, along with all their belongings. The earth closed over them, and they all vanished from among the people of Israel." And that's the point. Okay? So when we talk about these few stripes, okay, that their congregation will receive because of their folly and being stiff-necked, okay, it could be an unnatural situation where their congregation is destroyed along with members, okay, or the congregation's family members too. This is how deep this is. And the Most High has shown signs and information, videos, okay? A lot of receipts are on these false prophets, but they still have that support system. And what does a receipt means? A receipt goes into to receive, okay? To receive via what? Text messages, okay? Or old videos when a person was teaching like this and now teaching like that. Both examples are examples of receipts. Matthew 15 and 14. "Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch." Okay? Now, from a spiritual perspective, was Yahweh Shai referencing this? Okay? The ground opened up. Okay? The ground opened up. And what is a ditch? An opening. I'm just saying. All right? But the point is that this ditch was their destruction. Okay? Whose destruction? Going back to Dathan. Abiram, and Korah. All right? Their congregation died and their families died. Everything they owned were destroyed. Okay? Everything they owned got destroyed. Again, Matthew 15 and 14. Let them alone. They be blind leaders. Those individuals were blind leaders of the blind. And who did they lead? Their family members, okay, and their congregation. And if the blind lead the blind, both should fall into the ditch. And what happened to these niggas? The ground opened up, swallowed them, and she closed her mouth back. All right, last precept. Ecclesiasticus chapter 4 and 27. Make not yourself an underling to a foolish man. It's like it. Let me read that again. Make not yourself an underling to a foolish man, neither accept the person of the mighty. Underling to a foolish man. Meaning what? You don't supposed to be following no one that is a fool. Okay, again, you don't supposed to be following a person that is a fool. Also, a definition for a fool means what? Empty-headed, hence lacking the spirit. And their congregations, okay, are all underlings. And just like Yahushua said, if the blind lead the blind, they both will fall into a ditch. And that ditch for Korah, Dathan, and Abiram was their destruction. Lord will, this was an edifying lesson. Shalom.